What's up, guys? Today we are going to talk about the best value in lacrosse today, in my opinion, the ATK head from Boombah. Let's go. Alright, so if you watch my channel, you may have seen a Boombah video I did a year ago, 2 years ago, something. And part of that video was the compressor head, which it's the Boombah compressor, which I believe is the first head they've made, but you know, I'm not 100% on that. I don't totally know. But the compressor is a good head. It was, you know, I didn't have any problems with it at all. It didn't seem real flashy. It was kind of bare bones, but you know, decent shape, very stringable, you know, nice scoop, good head, just solid head. But the new one, the ATK, has kind of taken that bare bones and spiced it up. I mean, there's some nice stuff. They've shortened the throat. The you know, it's not a super aggressive flare. The bottom rail is, you know, also not very aggressive, but it lends itself to just about any stringing. They've added some nice texture. You know, it's a good-looking head. The sidewall holes, there's a bunch of them. I don't know how many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
15 sidewall holes. They're all big and rectangular, rounded rhombus. You can easily fit a string in there 2 times, which is nice, especially with, you know, mesh that has bigger diamonds. Sometimes you like to go around twice and lock it in a little bit. I didn't do that on this one, but sometimes I do that. It's a U-spec head. It's got 2 screws, and it's just awesome. You know, it's a good-looking head. It's a real stiff head, which is fantastic. It's important that it's stiff because people who maybe don't want to spend $100 on a head, you know, want a $50 head, but oh man, it's geared for attack, which it says ATK, which I'm guessing is attack, but this could absolutely be used by short stick D middies, LSMs, you know, definitely attack and midi, two-way middies, offensive middies, but I think it's also stiff enough to be a close defense head. It might not be as stiff as some of the dedicated defensive heads, but it's certainly close, and for $50 less. If you watch Peepo's videos, he did a review on the ATK, and he thought the sidewall was very similar to the Maverick Optic. I pulled out a Maverick Optic and compared it, and it's similar. I believe the Optic is a little more rounded in the holes, but similar spacing in the struts and similar angles. I don't remember the weight on this thing. I forgot to weigh it up before I strung it, but it's not light. It's not like a light head, but it's also not heavy. It's just kind of it's probably an average weight. Nice ball stop on there. Cool looking. What else? Great scoop. It's an updated scoop over the, like, this is a real basic scoop, and this has the you know, that little ledge there, this little embossed ATK there, which is nice. Very stringable head, you know, and you can string your pocket wherever you want. This head will take, and all heads will take any pocket, but you know, certain heads that are designed to take a low pocket, for instance, it can be tricky to get a high pocket in there, and it can be tricky to get a good high pocket in there. This is one of those heads that'll take any pocket anywhere. I love the 2 screw holes. You know, that's kind of becoming a standard, and I think it's important. I put it on this this True Comp SF 4.0, the white and gold, and the screw holes lined up perfectly, which I love. Took it out, was thrown with it. I got this in, I think January they sent it to me, maybe even before then, but I got real busy with practice, and our season was starting, and so I couldn't review it. I mean, I didn't have time, and quite a few products were sitting on my to-do table, and this was one of them. I strung this up about a week and a half ago, and I've been using it on the bounce back, playing catch with the kid, and it's nice. I mean, I love this. It's a great head. It feels great on this shaft. I am a really big fan of this head, but my favorite part absolute favorite part about this head is its price. $50. This is a $50 head, and I think, you know, it's scary, or it can be hard for companies to price their products low. That the risk is when you price a product too low, the consumer's perception is that, oh, it's cheap, it's cheaply made, it's cheaply, you know, it's going to fall apart on me, it's not going to last. You know, all the perceptions that come with a low price. They're usually not negative. I mean, they're usually not positive, I should say. But, you know, in lacrosse, the most, you know, we're all talking about growing the game, and we all want to grow the game. We want to spread it to, you know, just about everywhere we can. I think one of the most important things manufacturers can do to facilitate the growth of the game is getting away from the current pricing strategies that we're seeing. One positive thing that we've seen lately is some of the big companies, the popular lacrosse head companies, coming out with brand new heads. They're pricing them below $100. Like $89 is kind of the new price point that they're all sort of reaching for and hitting. And that's awesome, because, you know, heads over that $100 point, I just, you know, I have a hard time with those. $89 is still going to be a stretch for a lot of people, but it's better than $120. And this is a tough sport to step into. You know, I mean, we all know all the gear that's involved is none of it's cheap. But the very first thing you need, like, no one goes out and just buys gloves first or a helmet first. The first thing you need is a stick, you know, a complete stick and a ball. And a company providing a $50 head, you know, that is such a great start to get a kid a stick. A really important part of lacrosse at the higher levels is consistency in your stick. And, you know, sticks break, heads crack less often, sidewalls snap, shafts break. In high school, I encourage kids to have an A stick and a B stick. Really, it's just it's a duplicate. So you've got your gamer, and ideally, if you can afford it, you should have an exact replica of your gamer in your bag. That means same mesh, same pattern, same shooter configuration, same head, same handle. Handle, not quite as important as, you know, but if it's it should be a similar weight, similar grip. Tape job should be exactly the same, because when a kid breaks let's say a handle, you know, he's got this is a starter. Coach wants him on the field. Either he comes off and he grabs someone else's stick, which is not ideal, or he comes off, finds a screwdriver, unscrews this, finds someone else's handle, someone else's stick, whatever. Coach, can I borrow your stick? Yeah. Unscrews that one, changes heads, screws it back in, off he goes. So that's a player that we wanted on the field, and he's just spent, whatever, 6-7 minutes on the sideline switching up a stick. If he had a backup, he could just take his broken stick to the bag, grab the backup, and he's back in business. Having two sticks, a gamer and a backup, is very expensive, and I don't think most people do it. And anytime you break something, you know, and you need a new stick in game, everyone always thinks, man, I wish I had a backup. So something like this, a $50 head, is a great way to potentially have a backup. I just spit. You know, you could set up a gamer and a backup for half the price with a $50 head. So something to think about. My wife just said, "Do you like the lightning bolt?" I don't have any idea what she's talking about. I like lightning bolts. I think they're pretty sweet. When I was a kid, there was a surfing. I lived in Irvine, and my brother was a surfer, and I didn't start surfing until I moved to Northern California. But he used to draw I think it was Bolt. Was that the name of the company? Was that lightning bolt? Anyway, he used to draw that everywhere, and of course he was a good artist, so I started drawing it everywhere. So yeah, I like lightning bolts. Anyway, what were we talking about? Overall, just a quality head. I mean, I can't find any faults with it. there's nothing I don't like about it. Absolute legit contender with the top heads. That's $50 cheaper. I'm a fan, guys. Boombah, you're doing it right. Keep doing what you're doing. I think it's an important model. You know, we can get this game in more people's hands if we price like they're pricing, which is hard to do. I'm not saying like everyone can just slash their prices, because companies kind of grow into their pricing with their overhead and whatnot. So, but it'd be very cool if companies could provide an inexpensive line of products. Maybe just cut back on all the flair that's put into their heads. You know, we don't need a fancy jewel. We don't need, you know, this is actually a pretty fancy ball stop, but you know, we don't need the embossed everything everywhere, all the different textures, and all the things that add to the price. I mean, we could just scale all that back, or you know, just have a line of products in each, you know, company's product catalog that is not necessarily for entry-level players, but for players who don't want to just break the bank. I don't know, something that would be nice and would help grow the game. I'm sure of it. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Go check out the ATK at Boombah. It's definitely worth looking into. Really nice product, fantastic price. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.